Saturday, the 18th of August, Warminster,
2018.
2018. We've been here before.
We have.
Can you remember what you did last time you were here?
I looked for a bus stop.
We found a bus stop. We cheekily entitled the episode, All the Stations episode 4, Sir Peter. You should make that happen. Today we're going to meet Sir Peter, or just Pete as we call him.
You call him.
I call him.
Sir all the way.
It's time to do Imberbus.
So last time I literally was walking, as I'm walking now, over to the bus stop, but today there are buses in front of the stop, two wonderful old route masters.
Should we get a bus?
Let's get the bus, yeah. So Imber is a tiny village in the middle of Salisbury Plains. On the 1st of November 1943, the War Department, which controlled the majority of the land surrounding the village and owned much of the houses in the village itself, asked all the current residents to evacuate, to take over the village as part of military training for the Second World War. Initially it was thought that residences would come back after the war finished, but that never happened, and so Imber is a ghost village, a ghost town. It's used by the Ministry of Defence for training of military. I think we're going to see some disused tanks, we're going to see houses and buildings, sort of makeshift buildings that the military use for training.
This might also be the most photographed TfL bus stop, that everybody comes and takes a picture.
Sorry, I'll have to change it.
No. I found a map, only it's not pocket size. We're here at Warminster. This is Salisbury Plains. It's about 8 miles through to the tiny village of Imber, where only the church is left, St Giles Church. And there's like an army base here. You'll see some tanks you can go on. This is all just a big nothing village, and then it comes out the other side. There's like a gravelly car park that's go across interchange, and some of the buses then go around here through Lavington, some go out to a place called New Zealand Farm Camp. Some good map holding, Tom.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Please do not stray off the marked footpaths whilst you're walking around the village. As I say, this is M.O.D. land, it is still a live firing range. There may be ordnance in the grass that you can't see.
It's worth pointing out, these aren't old historical houses.
No.
These are modern builds, basic builds, which the military use for like training. Presumably had a like storm a house.
The church is here, so
Yeah.
the church is going to be the heart of the village.
Yeah.
And so all around would have been cottages.
Yeah.
There was a pub, the Bell Inn, there was a schoolhouse.
The pub was just like 100 metres that way.
Yeah.
But it's weird seeing it, because at some point you know that these soldiers have burst their way in here as a military exercise.
Maybe night vision.
Night vision goggles. No, they do night vision. They were saying yesterday they have night vision
Training.
exercises.
Yeah.
Now you guys clearly haven't got a bus here, have you? You've not. No. didn't come on a bus. It's worth pointing out that you don't have to get a bus here. The planes are open for a few days a year. You can come on, you could walk on if you were crazy enough, or you could cycle in, or we saw some bikers. And the only downside, I think, to coming to Imber is that there are just portaloos. I'm going to try and hold it in. There's one question which somebody actually asked me on Twitter and I didn't know the answer to, and that is, why is it bus 23A? Fortunately, there's situations like this where you can ask the man that is bound to know. He's over here. Peter is here. Good morning. I'm interrupting important tea drinking time.
You are.
Why didn't you get me a tea?
It's the 23A because at the time we introduced it, we come sometimes to the Warminster bus running day through Chitton and Shrewton to Stonehenge.
That was like the precursor to Imberbus.
That's the no, that still happens every year.
Oh, okay.
But but that's the 23, and that went down to Salisbury, and I think might still do sometimes, occasionally. Never. So we thought, well, this shares at least about a yard of the same road, so it must be the 23A. But
I remember the 247B in Epping. That takes me back. Remember that? That was like market Sundays only or something.
oh, I'm not that old, Jeff.
And not that I know the answer, so you could just make it up. What was the last suffix letter bus in London?
77A. And it's a shame.
he knows.
So they all went, but they've got prefix letters now. But
Yeah.
this is definitely a suffix letter, isn't it? Must be.
Is it
Don't
the only suffixed red London bus route, albeit not in London? I mean, it's an official bus service. It's legal, isn't it? Because you're registered and you're licensed and
It
you're
is.
insured.
It
So
is.
is it now the only suffixed London bus route in the whole country?
Probably is, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. There you go. Isn't that exciting?
I think this is our bus. I think this is our bus. I am not writing down numbers. If I was, I would write that number down. Are we sitting on top?
What, the kissing seat?
Yeah, we're gonna sit in the kissing seat, right?
With Martin, you mean?
Yeah. Do you want to sit in the kissing seat?
Yeah.
We've changed our plan. We're going to get the bus behind. We do need to point this out. Brazen Bottom is like this tiny village that was sort of marked on one OS map, right? Clearly, there's no need. It's just an excuse to have the fun name Brazen Bottom on a bus, and I love it. We're on a bus. We're on a bus. Not a train for once, but a bus. Standing on the back platform. I just remember years ago in London I used to work at the BBC at Bush House, and it was a great thing to come out the back, down onto the Strand, hop onto the back, ride a few stops, get the Charing Cross, hop off. Can't do it nowadays, and I miss it. I do miss it. Open platforms were always a great thing.
The Route Masters.
You love them, right? Why do you love them?
I just absolutely love them. Trained to drive them, still driving them.
This is St Giles Church in the heart of what is Imber village. We've got stalls selling postcards, Imber honey, which I'm intrigued as to how they create that. But over here is folders of different censi of the village.
But you read somewhere that there was a census that
Yeah.
recorded 0 people.
So when they picked up doing the census again after the war, they've still recorded the fact that there are 0 people who live in Imber. But yes, now you said that, that's absolutely right, that you can only access censuses from 100 years. That's the
You'd have to wait
earliest.
till the 1951 census came out.
We've come into the churchyard to find the grave of Albert Nash, who was the blacksmith in Imber at the time that the village was evacuated, and it was said that he was so distraught about having to leave his home that when the news was announced, his wife found him sort of crying in his blacksmith's shop, and he became very ill quite quickly and died a few weeks later. He was brought back to Imber to be buried, but legend has it that his death certificate says that he died of a broken heart.
Straighten up. This way a bit. Hang on.
It's 20 past 4 back at Warminster. If I look like I'm cramped into a small space, that's because I am cramped in to
Going all right.
Master
Lovely.
5. I'm with Peter, and he's like, Just get in the cab with me. Is it called a cab or what do you call it?
This is the cab. Well, it was when I got in. This bus, the registration number's 1962.
Yeah.
The body is 1958.
Okay.
But I had this re-engined, so this has a modern Euro 6 engine in it. Some of the buses here today have got their original engines in.
Yeah.
And the trouble with that is that they are very old, and you wouldn't want to break them. But this thing's done Land's End to John O'Groats twice.
Wow.
We went to Germany to show the engine off for Cummins, and and also we really did it. I did it in conjunction with Cummins to prove that you could fit a very old vehicle with modern technology. So it's a 1950s design vehicle with a 21st century power unit.
Oh, it's come out.
There we go. Hey. Tickets, please.
You gonna do it?
Sure.
Gonna do upstairs?
If someone actually wants a ticket, how much is it? Thank you. Tickets, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. You coming on?
Our day is almost at an end. In a minute, we've got like an amazing. You're still carrying.
I'm working, mate.
Is it a Setright or a Gibson? Do you know?
It's a Gibson.
It's a Gibson. In a minute, we're going to have like a finale sort of convoy shot of many buses. But I just wanted to say, this is a bonkersly brilliant day out. Ghost Village, Salisbury Plains, get a train here, buses from so many different buses, just the whole concept, and people giving up their time and sort of like senior bus managers that work, at depots in London. They come down and it's just like it's just a fun day.
I see James waving.
Give us a wave. Gentle breeze across the plain and a bus. It's just bonkers. Come to Imberbus next year. I got into the top of the bus and got an amazing creative shot looking down onto
Really?
you. Yeah.
I just hope it stays up.
I hope it stays up. Because it's like wonky.
That's not my fault. The actual stuff
The post.
is
Yeah, but it
wonky.
won't. Well, oh.